I never thought when creating this channel to talk about law that I would end up talking about the cost of a schoolgirl's skirt. But here we go, because you've probably seen this story in the media covered here by the BBC, which I will link in the description below. Before we get to talk about that, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm a barrister of England and Wales, and I enjoy to help you to understand law. So please do hit that like button and subscribe. It does help my channel grow, and I like to give you my thoughts on these things. So this story here, if you haven't come across this yet, is where Holderness Academy have received significant criticism for putting a 14-year-old girl in isolation for wearing, quote, the wrong brand of skirt. They were told by the school, which the school's made clear, that their policy is that they're supposed to buy this uniform from an official supplier, and this skirt had a cost of £18. They instead, the parents that is, bought one from a local supermarket for £8, which was virtually indistinguishable. At least from the photographs here, from what I can see, it looks indistinguishable to me. The girl here said it was, we had to lift up our top so the waistband was visible. And it was horrible because the other people started making fun of me, saying that I couldn't afford the skirt. Now, this is degrading treatment one way or the other, however you look at it. The school said in a statement that it's normal practice that uniform infringements are identified at the start of the school day, with members of senior leadership team, tutors and pastoral staff supporting this process. Students line up in year areas and messages are shared the day ahead, with students then entering the building for a calm start to the day. The process usually takes about 5 minutes, which is standard practice for a number of years without any concerns being raised by parents. Now, whilst I generally support uniform policies, indeed we wear a wig and gown. As you can see, my wig over there, the gown is not currently hanging up, it's in my gown bag. So I do support traditions and policies and uniforms, but the distinction between these two, in my humble opinion, is so insignificant that it should not outweigh the difference in cost, particularly when the government guidance on uniforms puts cost considerations at the forefront. And costs should be in addition to the considerations, considering how it promotes the school ethos, belonging to an identity, setting appropriate tone for education, and so on. But if we are talking about those things, a uniform and identity, quite literally a uniform and identity within the school and being appropriate for education, these two both fit that bill. I can't tell you which one is which. And the government guidance from the Department of Education, we've been absolutely clear that uniforms should be affordable and costs for parents should be kept down by enabling them to choose high street unbranded options. Our statutory guidance is that cost and value for money for parents should be the most important consideration by schools when deciding how to source uniform. We expect schools to follow this. But in this story, at least on the face of what the BBC has said in covering this story, that is not the case here. I think that is disgraceful. I think it's unacceptable. I think it's completely unnecessary. And I don't mind saying that as a legal professional, because there are certain times and places when something should be absolutely to a T what the definition is supposed to be. This, in my view, is not one of them. And as I said, if someone has to lift up a girl's sweater to be able to see what brand of skirt it is, I think that is degrading and unacceptable treatment. I'm not even convinced you could do that without looking at the label. It doesn't say so in the article, to be absolutely clear. It doesn't say that that's what happened, but I'm not certain that you could do that without looking at the label. I don't know. I mean, I look at these two here. It's not clear to me whether you could see a difference between the two. They look virtually identical to me. Maybe there's subtle differences and the school can tell just by looking at the waistband. But either way, it made this girl feel terrible, not just because of the way that they are checked, but also because of the way that she was made to feel if their family was saving on cost by buying one that is 9/10 the same and otherwise less than half the cost. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Let me know your experiences and what's happened to you. Send me confidential emails. I'll never name you, but I will put your stories out if you have similar stories. In the meantime, please do remember to like this video and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.